Right then, so we're going to change your pinion seal today. Simple tools we'll need: 14mm deep for getting the prop shaft off. I've got a flathead screwdriver, hammer, I've got a long ratchet, which for me is just a broken torque wrench. I've got a 1/2 inch breaker bar as well. I've got this tool for holding the input flange still, so I can undo the pinion nut whilst I'm holding it. I've got a 29mm socket for the pinion nut. Officially it's 1 1/8 inch, but I haven't got any imperial sockets in the back of my truck ready to do it, so I'm just using what I've got. So that's a 29mm, and a rag, of course, for clean your hands. So yeah, I'll show you how to do it. Right, so now we've got the prop shaft off. I've gone ahead and I've got a screwdriver or a small punch. I've marked the pinion shaft, I've marked the pinion nut, and I've also put a score along the prop shaft flange so we know which way it all goes back together, and we know how much preload we need to tighten it back up to. It's also good to make note of how many threads are showing. So on here you can see that we've got 3 full threads showing, or you can measure it and then you know you're at the right position and the right amount of turns in. As you can see on here, the pinion seal's been leaking for the past week or two, so we're finally doing it. I'll go and get the special tool on the socket. Back in a minute. I went to grab the tool. I don't know how the frame is. I can't get much further back because the prop shaft's dangling behind my head. I make these, but if not, you can use any old bar, bit of box section with 2 holes drilled in it, just to lock that flange up. So if I put the camera down, I will try and get this off. This is just a clapped out torque wrench that I'm using as another ratchet. Now the bolt's about 28mm, but because these differentials, the third member's made by Dana, which is an American company, I've got a feeling that's actually 1 1/8 inch or something around that size. It'd be better if you had a 12-sided socket, but I don't. Right, pinion nuts off, but that's almost safe. Now, you can see what it will look like. The other thing to be wary of is when you pull this prop shaft flange off, that has a bearing journal, or a seal journal rather, and that actually seals on the seal. The seal doesn't seal on the pinion shaft, it seals on the prop shaft flange. So as we pop that out, that's going to piss oil everywhere. So I'll go grab a bucket or something I can find and get that off. Right, so I went and got my bucket. Hey, we're lucky. We're alright today. So you can see that's where the seal runs. This is like a shield. Yeah. Pop that somewhere safe. Don't get that dirty because that's obviously mating up to the pinion bearing. So if you get a bit of dirt between those two surfaces, that's going to alter our measurement and our preload. Now I've got to try and get the seal out. It's moving. It won't come out. It's been in there, what, 16 years now. It is coming. There we go. Okay guys. There's also, I never noticed that, it's not in the service manual, there's a bit of RTV behind the body of the seal. Now obviously you want to be a bit mindful of what you put in here because the bearing's right behind this oil shield. So don't go getting no mud in there. Right. I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do and then I'll show you how to put the new seal in. I've got the two seals. You can see the difference between them. The rubber snout on the later one is larger, it sticks out further, and they've moved from a seal that you can knock in, you know, a certain amount because you've got to knock it flush, to a seal that you can't knock in too far because it's got a flange on it. So that's the difference between those. I'll just take you up here. As you can see, I've cleaned out the back of the pinion bearing and I've cleaned the oil slinger as well, and I'll put them back in there before I put the seal on. I've been really meticulous and I've gone around here with a bit of emery. I've not got any of the grit in there though, don't do that. Just so the new seal will go in perfect. I'm also going to put a dab of Loctite on it just to be sure, because I've only got one go at this, and if I bugger it up I've got to wait a week for another seal, so no thanks. As you can see, there's a couple more tools there. Just getting the last remnants of that seal out. We're a bit finicky, but we're all good to go now. So I'll pop you back on the stand and I'll take you through the rest of it. Just giving that another go around there because I don't want any oil on that seal, so this is where I put a dab of Loctite. I want the Loctite to work. So the oil slinger, make sure that's dead clean, because all these bits that we're putting on affect the stack height, and if one of them's got grip between it, your pinion bearer will be way too tight. Just putting a dab of Loctite around the edge of the seal body, just to make sure it's sealed. Like I say, the workshop manual doesn't actually call for any extra sealant to be put on, but when I took the old one off, it had just a smear of RTV around it. So lovely jubbly. I'm just going to knock it till it's flush with the third member.